There's a reason the strongest people in the world are often the quietest. Because silence isn't weakness, it's war preparation. It's where you build your edge in a world that's addicted to noise, opinions, and constant validation. Silence is not just the absence of sound, it's the presence of strength, control, and strategy. When you learn to be silent, when you train yourself to speak less and observe more, something powerful happens. You stop reacting and you start ruling. You take control, not just of your words, but of your emotions, your habits, and your future. Most people talk because they want attention. They talk because they need approval, comfort, or to fill the uncomfortable gaps in their self-worth. But not you. You've chosen something different. You've chosen silence because you're not out to impress, you're out to conquer. You don't need the world to hear your plans. You need the world to feel your results. And the more you embrace silence, the more you detach from chaos. You no longer argue with people who don't understand your vision. You don't waste time trying to prove anything. You just work, you just build, you just grow. Discipline is born in silence. When you're alone with no applause, no praise, no spotlight, you face yourself. And in that silence, you make the hardest decisions. To get up when you're tired, to grind when you're doubted, to push when you're in pain. Nobody sees that part. But that's where champions are made. That's where true warriors are built. And that's why silence is your secret weapon. It forces you to sit with your pain, your excuses, your insecurities, and kill them one by one. Every morning you wake up and stay disciplined when no one is watching. You separate yourself from the crowd. Every moment you choose clarity over noise, focus over distraction, power over popularity. You rise. The world rewards those who master themselves, not those who shout the loudest, not those who fake success with flashy words, but those who work in the dark with no need to be seen until it's time to dominate. Silence gives you vision. It allows you to hear your thoughts clearly, to organize your mind, to strip away the unnecessary. You stop reacting to every insult, every failure, every setback. You start thinking long term. You begin to understand that power is not in screaming, it's in staying still when everyone else panics. It's in keeping your energy focused while others waste theirs talking. Remember this, silence isn't retreat, it's reload. Every second you stay quiet and focused, you're loading the chamber with precision, power, and purpose. When it's time, you won't need to shout, you'll just strike. And the world will know that the silent one was always the most dangerous. The power to adapt is the power to win. But you can't adapt to what you don't understand. And you can't understand what you don't take time to observe. Silence gives you that time. It gives you clarity. While others talk over their own instincts, you hear yours loud and clear. You're not just reacting, you're aligning. You're shifting when needed. You're preparing for your moment, your strike, your breakthrough. And when it comes, it's not loud. It's lethal. You don't need to scream when you've already won. You don't need to explain when results speak louder than words ever could. Think of the most dangerous predators in the wild. They don't roar before the hunt. They wait, they stalk, they observe, and they strike with precision. That's what silence gives you. The ability to strike when it matters most. Because timing is everything. Most people rush because they fear missing their moment. You wait because you know your moment is waiting for you. You don't chase it, you create it. And when it arrives, you don't hesitate, you don't second guess, you execute with the calm confidence of someone who prepared while everyone else was performing. Your silence keeps your enemies confused and your allies intrigued. It gives you mystery, it gives you leverage, it makes people wonder, what is he thinking? What is she planning? And that doubt alone is power, because when people can't predict you, they can't control you. When they can't read you, they can't stop you. Your silence protects your dreams. It guards your process. It shields your future from judgment, envy, and that's not weakness. That's wisdom. You don't need to announce your goals. You don't need to explain your pain. You don't owe anyone an explanation for the war you're fighting in silence. The world will see the outcome. That's all that matters. And the longer you stay silent, the clearer your path becomes. You begin to separate real opportunities from distractions. You begin to hear your true voice, not the one polluted by noise, but the one driven by purpose. So let them talk, let them gossip, complain, show off. That's their game. You're playing a different one. You're building, you're preparing, you're watching from the shadows. So when it's your time, you won't miss. You'll be ready. You'll be lethal. You'll move with confidence, not because you talked about it, but because you lived it. Silence is not just your strategy, it's your superpower. While others are desperate to be seen, you're becoming someone impossible to ignore. Let your silence be your weapon, your training ground, your clarity. Because when you finally strike, the world won't remember what you said, they'll remember what you did. Being silent doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing everything with absolute focus. It means cutting the world off, not because you're weak, but because you're locked in. You're not distracted. You're not scattered. You're not diluted. You're concentrated, disciplined, and relentless. In a world that rewards noise and visibility, you've chosen the rare path of inward power. You're not here to entertain. You're not here to be liked. You're here to evolve. And evolution doesn't happen in crowds. It happens in silence, in solitude, in obsession. The loudest people are often the least focused. They waste their days talking about what they want to do, but never get it done. They crave attention, but lack direction. Every word they say becomes a weight dragging them down. But the silent one, the one who withdraws from the noise, moves with precision. Every step is intentional. Every action is sharp. Every day is another brick laid in silence, building a foundation no one sees until it becomes too solid to ignore. Silence, in its purest form, is not the absence of action. It is action stripped of distraction. You don't need noise to feel alive. You don't need to tell anyone your next move. You don't need to prove your work ethic to people who don't even understand your vision. Your silence is proof that you've matured, that you've realized your energy is sacred and not everyone deserves access to it. You no longer need validation. You no longer seek applause. You're not moved by opinions. You're moved by progress. That's what separates the real ones from the pretenders. Focus is a gift in this distracted world. While others chase 10 things and accomplish none, you chase one thing with deadly intensity. And because of that, you win. Focus is choosing what not to do. It's saying no to short-term pleasure in pursuit of long-term greatness. It's going ghost, not because you're lost, but because you're found. Because you finally see what needs to be done and you're willing to give it everything. That's the meaning of silence. That's the power of staying still on the outside while a storm of creation rages within. People will misunderstand your silence. They'll call it arrogance, distance, coldness. Let them. That's not your concern. Your concern is the mission. Your concern is the work. Your concern is becoming undeniable. And when the results come, when the world finally sees what you've built in the shadows, it will all make sense. The silence was never empty. It was full of commitment, pain, effort, and discipline. This is the truth. Silence is not weakness. It is strength controlled. It is noise mastered. It is the ability to detach from the world long enough to create something that changes it. So while they scroll, you study. While they talk, you train. While they sleep, you grind. And in the end, while they're confused how you did it, you will stand in silence again, not because you owe no explanation, but because your life is the explanation. The silent one always wins. Not first, but last. And their win is permanent because it was built with absolute focus. So stay silent, stay dangerous. Let the world underestimate you. Let them think you're idle while you're building your empire brick by brick. Let them doubt you while you're sharpening your mind, strengthening your discipline, and mastering your craft. You don't owe the world noise. You owe yourself results. And when those results come, when your silence finally turns into success, it will be undeniable. People won't remember what you said, they'll remember what you became. That's the power of staying focused in silence. You didn't chase attention, you chased greatness, and now it's yours. Not because you talked about it, but because you were relentless enough to earn it when no one was watching. That's the difference. That's what separates the weak from the unstoppable. Not words, not hype, but silence backed by action and driven by purpose. You are not invisible. You are just in the process of becoming so powerful that the world won't be able to ignore you. Keep building, keep grinding, keep your focus so strong that nothing can break it. Be silent, and soon you'll have everything.